Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm J-Mac and this is Raid Shadow Legends. So, I'm on my daughter's account and I'm trying to go through and get some champions geared for her, do a few of the missions for her, and that way when she logs back on, maybe she'll be a little surprised that her account's grown some. But figured while I was going through doing the gear stuff, I would make a video and hopefully help somebody out who's in the early game. And so this is one of the things that I wish I had known when I'd started playing, and it's for swapping out gear. So let me show what we're doing here. So I'm on Jizzo, and he's got a piece of 4-star common gear. Now, this gray stuff, you have to use it at the very start of the game because it's usually you're getting gray and green stuff. But it's not something that you want to spend any silver doing any of these upgrades with. That was one of the other mistakes I made was I had a few pieces of this gray stuff that I took up to level 16 and I burned through millions of silver taking some horrible gear up to level 16. So I would advise any gray gear you get, don't even level it up because if you're playing doing the dungeon runs and campaign missions, then you're going to start getting gear. And you don't have to have amazing gear at the start to, beat some of this content. So this gray stuff, definitely don't level up. If you get some green gear, you want to take it to level 4, that's fine. But definitely gray and green, be careful how much silver you're putting in that stuff. But one of the things that I got trapped in was this right here of swapping artifacts. And so, example for this, he has this gray 4-star shield on him. And if I wanted to put this epic 3-star shield on him, to swap it, it's wanting to charge you 20,000 silver. Now, there's a certain point in the game where it is worth saving this gear, but this gray gear, I'm not going to put on anyone else on her account. She's progressed enough where gray gear is totally worthless for her. So I don't want to pay that silver because what this does is it takes it out off of the champion and puts it back in her inventory so you can use on someone else. We're not going to use it. So what you can do, let me close these windows here. Click on the piece of gear you want to take off, click remove, and instead of paying silver, click destroy. Because that 20,000 silver it costs to remove, when you go to sell this, you're not going to get hardly anything for it. Like 500,000 silver would be max, probably. So just destroy it. And you destroy it, it frees up the slot, and you're not out any silver whatsoever. So what I've done with her characters is I've been going through and putting gear on them the best of what she has. Now I got caught also in the early game of trying to do these sets. And let me see if I can find someone. Okay, so Ninja, he's been our main campaign farmer, main damage dealer. So I've got him in a lifesteal set with Immortal. And so he's got 2 gear sets on him. Now when I go to, let's just say Rural Guard here, for him I was working on his accuracy and using the best gear that she has, which she still has a long ways to go. I was able to get 2 accuracy sets on him. But then, I've got a chest plate that does defense, and then a helmet that was the best helmet she had from everything else. And it's okay to put different gear sets that don't match up on a character. If I had boots that had speed on them, I wouldn't care anything at all about trying to get a match set because speed boots are some of the best gear in the game. And so even though it wouldn't match up, I would love to have speed boots on every champion, even if it messed with these sets. So obviously, early game, you just kind of go with what you have anyway. But even when you get into the mid game and end game, it's totally okay to not have these match sets on. And the stats are more important than the sets. But then in some cases, like for example, Ninja, having him in life steal and then doing the immortal gear to keep him alive, because a lot of times it'll just be him and then, you know, 3 greens that are going to die in the first wave of something. So it makes sense to do a sets on him to keep him alive. But for some of your other champions, it is totally okay. Mix and match this stuff just to get the bonuses that you need to keep them alive. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm going up and I'm leveling up her gear. Now, like I said earlier, gray and green stuff, be very careful how high you level it. Gray stuff, I don't even level at all. Green, I wouldn't take past 4. A lot of the blue gear, I wouldn't take past 8. And then on your purple, your epic gear, there's some of it that it's okay to take up to level 12. The problem is it takes a ton of silver. Let me see. I don't know if I've got... Okay, so Ninja, for example, got him in speed boots. You know, 7,000 silver per turn isn't a lot, but you saw I just failed there, so you can really start burning through silver in a hurry. And let me just go ahead and do it this way. Well, I'm not having to click the whole time. So those fails, they will really start to add up and start eating through your silver. And it's even worse when you get up to set 16. That right there wasn't too bad. I didn't have too many fails for getting up to level 12. The boots, I'd love to take up to 16 to just get Ninja more speed, but she only has 1.6 million silver. And so I want to kind of get her silver stockpile up a little higher before we start spending on gear. So what I've gone through is some of the stuff she's already taken up a little bit, but see, Apothecary, Ninja, I'm using Bellower in there. I'm just taking everything up to level 8. Level 8 gives you, you know, your main stat bonuses, and you get some of the substats that you can get rolls on. For example, there I got a double roll on speed. So definitely, you know, the gear that you are going to have on your champions for a little bit, take it up to 8. It doesn't cost a lot of silver to do that, and it's pretty good stat bonuses than not rolling it up at all. But I definitely wouldn't start taking things up to 16. She does have some 6-star legendary gear. This shield would be totally fine to take up to 16. It's just not right now for her. And everything else, like I said, she's leveled up a few things, but just keep everything at 8 when you're starting out. That way you're not getting into your silver stockpiles, and then when you need silver for buying something in the market, if you get, you know, an ancient shard, those things cost 200k a piece. And then it costs money to summon champions, and everything you do costs silver. So you want to be smart with what you're doing. I wish I had learned a lot of that stuff on my account early on. I'd probably have a extra 10 or 15 million silver stored up just from my silver mistakes. And while I'm talking about gear, one other gear set I want to talk about is this shield set. Now, Apothecary, for him, he's somebody you want a ton of speed on, but again, early game, don't have many gear choices, but she did have some shield pieces laying around. And what this does is it puts a 30% HP ally shield for 3 turns. So on all of your allies, whenever they start a wave, and let me do one here, and let's just go Ascalon, they will have that shield on them at the start of each wave. So we'll just roll with that crew. So you can see they all have that shield for 3 turns starting out, and it starts at every wave. Of course, the more HP you have on them, the better the shield will be. Which I know they're able to roll through this level fairly quick. But as you start progressing through, that shield set becomes really valuable in some places. And It's not something I use a lot on my account. I think I had in Doom Tower going against the Scarab King, where you have to have a shield up all the time. I had somebody that was in one of those. That way, I could start out my turn with the shield up and kind of get my champion set up the way I wanted them for fighting. But early game, that shield set works really, really good as you start getting a little more harder content. Of course, these waves, I'm not really getting attacked, but every little bit helps. So anyways, like I said, guys, I was going through messing with some gear on her account. Just thought I'd go ahead and make a video. That way, if you're early game just starting out, you kind of have an idea of what to spend silver on, what gear to upgrade. And a lot of the gear is really dependent on champions. There's a ton of videos out there about what gear is good, what gear is bad. But just use what you can. Don't spend a ton of silver at the beginning of the game, and it'll kind of help you out as you start progressing through the easier levels and getting up to the mid game. Thought I'd finish this fight out before I end the video. Man, he hits so hard. Should still be fun. One ninja. I'm just autoing through it just to see once I get her team up to a certain level what she can auto and what she can't. That way she'd have to sit here and manual everything. Lost one, but we did fine on that. So again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a blessed day. If you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button. It would help me out a ton. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.